Watson Electrical, and I want to welcome you to our YouTube live event. This is the time of year we normally get together to review our benefit plans for the next calendar year, 2023. Hard to believe, but 2022 is almost over. I heard somebody say the other day that it's about 10 weeks until Christmas, and with the supply chain, we're already thinking about buying Christmas presents. So this is our first live event we did last year, so this is our second one. It's more efficient than traveling around 2 or 3 different states. Allows other people to participate. We can record it, have it available for new hires that come on board during the year. So it just made more sense to do another live event this year. As we cover the material tonight, you may have some questions. If you're logged into our YouTube channel, at the bottom of the channel, you should see a section that says you can add comments. If you have a question, post it there. We're not going to answer them until we get towards the end, but send your questions as we go, and then we'll address them all at the end. To start off, I want to thank all of our employees for the hard work and dedication you bring to our company each and every day. One way to show that appreciation is by providing a comprehensive benefit package that's one of the best in the industry. And it's a benefit package that we're proud to offer that's designed to protect the health and financial security of you and your family. Speaking of financial, let's talk about 401k for just a minute. You should be seeing more and hearing more about our 401k plan. We're sending information out now pretty regularly. We recognize that in these challenging economic times that financial wellness is just as important as health and physical wellness. One of the new pieces of information we're posting in the One Watson app is a 401k participant newsletter. This newsletter gives you even more information about 401k in general, as well as about the benefits of our 401k plan. Our financial advisor to the plan, Compass Financial, offers one-on-one counseling, not only about 401k, but other topics like retirement, Social Security, etc. So go to the app to find more information. When you find the newsletter, you'll see hyperlinks in that newsletter. They are active. Just remember, when you click on one of those hyperlinks, you'll leave our app and go to an external site. You can see the navigation at the bottom of the screen about how to navigate in the app to get to the Compass section. So now let's talk about health benefits. All the information we cover tonight is in the 2023 benefit guide. We'll be talking about how to enroll, where to go to enroll, who's eligible, as well as the different benefit options you're going to have for 2023. So who's eligible? All full-time employees are eligible. You can cover legal spouses. You can also cover dependents up to age 26. On when to enroll, open enrollment starts tomorrow, October the 5th, and it will close on October the 30th. Now remember, this is not our website. We don't control it. So once it closes, we can't open it back. We do have a lot of procrastinators. Don't be one of those. Don't wait until the last minute. Too many people do, and if the system crashes, we can't open it back up in time for you to make benefit elections. And also remember, any changes you're making during open enrollment will be effective January 1 of 2023. How to enroll? We're going to continue to use the BSwift website. The login and password are in the benefit guide. For some of you, we emailed a unique login ID. If you have a certain suffix like junior or the third, if you have a common last name, it makes duplicate logins. So if your standard login does not work, then check your email. Make sure you also check your junk file. You'll have an email from us with a unique login ID. If you have any problems at all, contact us in HR. Everyone needs to go through enrollment. Some of the benefits require an annual election. They don't roll over. So if you're in them in 22, you have to re-enroll and elect them for 23. So if you don't go through enrollment, you'll lose that benefit. You may want to waive some benefits. You've got to go through the process to do that. Now, once you're logged in, check the names, check the dates of birth, check the Social Security numbers for everybody you're covering. All the information for those go to the carriers to print cards. So you want to make sure all those are spelled right, all the numbers are right, all the dates are right. Completing the enrollment only takes about 15 minutes. You can start, stop, and come back as you need to. If you have to stop and come back, the system will remember where you got left off. It'll bring you right back there. Make sure you get all the way through. You should get to a message that says you've completed the enrollment. If you don't get that message, don't see that message, then you haven't completed everything, you haven't finished. Once you do get finished, print a confirmation statement. We've had a couple of issues in the past where the benefits didn't come over right, and we had to reference the participant's confirmation statement to make sure we got the right information. Also, make sure your email and your cell phone numbers are all up to date. I know a lot of us have different email addresses. We have more than one. Make sure the one that you're using is the one you put in bSwift. Carriers are starting to utilize email addresses and cell phone numbers more and more to communicate with members. Some carriers use the email, some use the cell phone number, so just make sure both of those are right. We use those as well when we're communicating with you, so make sure that that cell phone number and that email address is correct. How do I make changes? Some benefits are only elected during open enrollment. Some actually are made with a qualified change in status. You see that information on the screen. If you have a change in status, contact us in HR, like you have a childbirth. You have 30 days to notify us from the date of the event, not 30 days from the date you tell us. So it would be 30 days from the date of a childbirth, not 30 days from when you picked up the phone and told us. Our group plan is an IRS pre-tax plan. The IRS makes these definitions and says who can enroll when, not us. It's not our decision. Now tonight we're talking about the annual open enrollment. So any changes you make during open enrollment are going to be effective 1/1 of 23. So let's talk about the medical and pharmacy. We continue to offer 2 medical plans. You see them side by side on the screen. We're staying with Blue Cross for 2023. Both plans include medical and prescription drug benefits. Both offer in-network and out-of-network coverage. You're going to pay less when you use in-network providers. The PPO core plan is the plan that's on the left. It has the lowest deductible and the lowest out-of-pocket cost. It offers fixed costs at the doctor's office and prescription drugs. So for all those fixed costs, you're going to pay a higher premium. The plan on the right is the Blue Options qualified high deductible health plan. We pair it with a health savings account. You'll see a little more information about that later. You're using the same Blue Cross network for both the doctor visits and the prescriptions. All your costs will count towards a deductible. After the deductible, the plan pays 80%. Because you're paying more out-of-pocket cost, you're going to have a lower premium. So how do I know which plan to pick? Well, you can ask yourself a few questions. How much did I spend on healthcare in 2022? Do I have a major healthcare event coming up in 2023? How much out-of-pocket cost did I have versus the premium that I pay? Those are some things you can ask yourself that'll help you make that decision. Now remember, when we talk about deductibles, deductibles start over January the 1st. We have deductibles on medical, dental, and pharmacy. So as an example, you're going to pay more for a prescription in January than you did in December because that deductible rolls over. Here's the cost for the medical plans for 2023. Now you're going to see things like participating and non-participating. That references our wellness program. So are you participating in the wellness or not? You're also going to see columns that say employee, Watson, and total. We think it's important you see all the cost. So you'll see those there. These premiums represent no increase on the high deductible health plan if you're in the wellness, a 2 to 3% increase if you're in the PPO wellness. If you're not participating in the wellness, then it's about a 4 or 5% increase for both the PPO and the high deductible health plan. Remember, on the medical, we're self-insured. Our premiums are driven by our cost. Blue Cross simply charges a small administrative fee for processing the claims, but they deduct the payments of those claims out of our checking account. That's why we stress the importance of getting a physical. It's why we make the physical a requirement for the wellness incentive. Physicals not only keep you healthier, you and your family, but it helps doctors catch things earlier, and that helps keep costs down, which also helps keep premium increases down. Now, when you enroll, if you see a non-participating rate, and you know that you had your physical and your spouse had theirs if you have the family plan, go ahead and make your benefit elections for 2023 anyway. Don't wait. We have a limited amount of time for open enrollment, so go ahead and do your benefit elections. We're adjusting things each month as Blue sends us their monthly files, so we make sure that the payroll deductions are right in January. So don't wait, go ahead and complete that enrollment anyway. So telemedicine, again, we'll have telemedicine. Blue Cross offers telehealth services through Teledoc. You can see some examples on the right of how a virtual telehealth visit will go, what they can treat. These are board certified doctors, but they cannot prescribe narcotic medications. It's more convenient. Obviously, they're available anytime, including after hours when your normal doctor isn't available. But Teledoc does not replace your primary doctor. It is a more cost-effective visit than we have for an urgent care or anything like that. So you want to set up Teledoc. You can see the instructions down at the bottom of the screen. Download the app. You'll see the website and phone number. Do it now. You don't want to do it when you're sick. Nobody wants to have to set up the app and go through all that when you're not feeling well. So go ahead and download that and have it ready. You'll set up the account, complete a brief medical history, and then you're ready to set up a visit when you need it. Speaking of where to get our health care, we always want to remind you, if you have a life-threatening injury or illness, you want to go to the emergency room. But if what you're dealing with is not life-threatening, you have much cheaper options that you can choose from. You see them on the screen here. There's an urgent care. We just talked about telehealth, convenience care, either through a CVS or a Walgreens or something like that. These options save you time and money. You'll be seen faster than the ER because remember, ER is dealing with life-threatening. And if you're there with something that's not life-threatening, you're probably going to be last. They'll save you money because the ER is the most expensive place to go. Again, if it's not life-threatening, utilize a less expensive option that you see here. Teledoc, again, they're available mostly 24/7. Urgent care has extended hours. Some of them are open on weekends. So there's lots of different options for you, not just going straight to the emergency room. Remember, the emergency room is probably going to cost you 8 times more on average than anywhere else you go. And you're going to wait more time in the ER than anywhere else you go. So always remember there's options for where do I go to get my health care. So we know you need flexible plans that allow you to customize insurance to meet the needs of you and your family. So we are pleased to provide voluntary plans to complement the health coverage you might enroll in. These plans are offered through Aetna. We've had them for several years. These plans help you pay out-of-pocket costs like the deductibles, the co-insurances, the co-pays. And if you're enrolled in one of these plans, you can actually claim a benefit for having that wellness preventive health screening we talked about a minute ago. They offer those as well. There are 3 plans available. You can elect 1, 2, or all 3. The first one we're talking about is the accident plan. It provides protection from an unexpected cost of an accident like a broken bone, sports-related injury. You can see some examples on the right side of the screen. The premium information is at the bottom. This plan also includes the $100 annual health screening benefit. So if you're enrolled in this plan, you get your physical for the wellness incentive. You can also file a claim here and get a $100 health screening benefit. The premiums you see at the bottom, there was no increase from 22 to 23, and so these premiums are flat. The next plan we offer is a critical illness plan. This provides protection if you or a dependent is diagnosed with a covered condition that you see on the screen. Expenses are covered like diagnosis, treatment, follow-up care. You're buying a benefit amount, so a little bit different here. You're buying either a $5,000, a $10,000, or a $20,000 coverage. So the premiums, you're not going to see them here because they'll vary depending on the age and the benefit amount that you elect. You also see a list of covered conditions. This plan also has a $50 annual health screening benefit. So if you enrolled in the accident plan and you enrolled in the critical illness plan, you can file 2 claims for these benefit screening amounts for that same physical we're talking about. The last plan we offer on the supplemental side is a hospital indemnity plan. It provides a benefit for hospital admission and confinement for an injury or illness that's not work-related. The benefits are paid directly to you. There's a $1,000 benefit for an initial admission and a $100 a day benefit for hospital confinement. This plan also includes a $50 annual health screening benefit. You see the premiums at the bottom. Again, these premiums, there was no increase from 22 to 23. So now let's talk about a health savings account. If you enroll in the qualified high deductible health plan we talked about a minute ago, you can also enroll in a health savings account. This is a deposit account that you can put money in for qualified medical expenses. Now, the account's in your name, you open it, you keep it, you get to keep it even if you leave the company. The money that's in it rolls over from year to year. You can contribute money from your paycheck, that money comes out before taxes. You can change that deduction as often as you like. Any balance that's in the account will earn investment earnings. They're also tax-free. The money that's paid out of that account for those qualified expenses also comes out tax-free. Now, you're not the only one that puts money in the account. The company also contributes money into that account if you enroll in it. So if you have employee-only coverage, the company will contribute $500. If you have employee, child, and family coverage, then the company's going to contribute $1,000 into that account to help you meet that deductible. Now, you're asking probably what's a qualified medical expense. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a link. That's an IRS publication 502 that is a complete list of qualified medical expenses to help you reference that. Now, on the left side of the screen towards the bottom, you're going to see there is a maximum amount that can be contributed to the plan. Remember, when you're figuring how much you want to contribute, that maximum number is a combination of both employee and employer money. So keep that in mind when you're determining how much you want to contribute. If you decided to enroll in the PPO plan, there's also an option for you called a flexible spending account. Same kind of concept. It provides you the opportunity to pay out-of-pocket medical expenses with pre-tax dollars through the flexible spending account. You decide how much is going to come out of your paycheck. It comes out before taxes, and you use those tax dollars, or you use those monies to pay the expenses. What you're saving is the tax dollars. Now, the big difference here is on the flexible spending account, the balance does not roll over. You either use the money that's in it by the end of the year, or you're going to lose the balance. Again, those are not our rules, those are the IRS rules, so you're going to need to plan how much money you put in there carefully. There are two types of plans you see on the screen. The one on the left is the healthcare flexible plan. You use this plan for eligible healthcare related expenses like medical, dental, and vision. An example would be braces. I was in this plan a number of years ago. My daughter needed braces. It was going to cost me $1,500 out of pocket. So I put that $1,500 in my flexible spending account, and I paid the dentist when the bill came due. What did I save? It was my money going in, my money coming out. What did I save? I saved tax dollars. In a 30% tax bracket, I saved $500 I didn't have to pay the IRS in taxes. Now remember, there's maximum amounts you can contribute. You'll see those numbers on the screen as well. The plan on the right side of the screen is called a dependent care plan. This plan is for caring for children under the age of 13 or for elderly parents that may be living with you. Now, one of the things to keep in mind with this plan is the funds that are in this plan are only available after they've been deducted out of your paycheck. Remember, there are maximum contributions there as well. Again, if you're in the FSA plan this year, you have to re-enroll, so you're going to have to go through the enrollment process. Elections don't carry over for flexible spending. So the dental plan, we're going to stay with Delta Dental in 2023. If you're already in the Delta Dental plan, you have a card. If you're new to the plan, there'll be a card will get issued to you. Not a lot of bells and whistles with dental. You see that the preventive services are covered at 100%, basic services are covered at 80%, and major services are covered at 50%. Same is true of vision. We're going to stay with Emeritus using the VSP network. Our vision plan basically helps offset costs for corrective eyewear. Now, there is no card with Emeritus. You just simply give the provider your social security number, and they'll pull the plan up on the screen and talk with you about the benefits. These benefits are designed to cover eye exams and help offset the cost of corrective eyewear. And here is the cost for both the dental and the vision. The premiums for dental and vision did not increase from 22 to 23, so there's no increase on either one of those plans. Life insurance, if you didn't think you had life insurance, you do. If you're on our benefit plan, the company actually pays for life insurance for you. 1 times your annual salary. Keep in mind, because you have life insurance through the company, you need to have a beneficiary. I always volunteer if you don't have one. So make sure if you need me as your beneficiary, get me your information. I'll be glad to volunteer as your beneficiary. But when you're online, seriously, if you're online and you go through the process, check that beneficiary. A lot of times we change our minds, family situations change. This is one of the last places people go to look to make sure their information's up to date when it comes to a beneficiary. So check that and make sure it is what you want. If you want to change it, now is the time to change it. If you want additional life insurance, you're going to purchase that at your cost. You can buy employee, spouse, and child coverage. If you're applying for the first time, or you're increasing your coverage, you may have to do what's called an evidence of insurability. You'll see that noted in the BSwift portal when you're in there. If you're buying additional coverage on yourself, you're electing coverage in amounts of $10,000 increments, up to 5 times your salary, maximum of $500,000. You can increase your coverage if you have it existing. You can increase your coverage up to $20,000 each year without having to do those questions. If you're electing spouse coverage, again, you're electing in $10,000 increments up to a maximum of $100,000. Special note here, your spouse coverage is no more than 50% of the voluntary coverage you have. So if you buy $50,000 of voluntary coverage on yourself, you can only buy $25,000 on your spouse. You can increase the spouse coverage up to $20,000 each year with no questions. And then the last one you see is child life. You're buying 5,000 increments up to $20,000. So again, check your beneficiary. One more note on that. Be aware courts will generally not award benefits from life insurance to minor children. We had an issue a number of years ago. An employee passed away. He left the benefit amounts in his life insurance to minor children. Those benefit amounts were tied up in court for years. If you want to leave beneficiaries, you want to leave life insurance benefits to minor children, I would encourage you to talk to a professional about a will or a trust so that you can make that happen. But if you just do it and list your minor children, then the courts are going to tie that money up. So just keep that in mind as well. We also offer disability plans in the event you become disabled due to a non-work related injury or illness. These plans offer a source of income while you're temporarily disabled. You see there's short-term disability on the left, long-term disability on the right. For short-term disability, there's 2 options. Now, short-term disability is 100% employee paid, and it's based on your wage and your age. So the premium you pay will show up when you elect your different plans. On option 1, there's a 1-week wait, so there is 1 week where there are no benefits payable, and then there's 25 weeks of benefits maximum. On option 2, there's a 2-week wait before benefits begin, and then there's a 24-week benefit maximum. Obviously, option 2 is cheaper than option 1 because you have a little bit longer wait period. On the long-term side, long-term disability is 100% company paid, so you're going to have that as a benefit already. You'll see there's a 180-day wait here, and benefits are payable up to Social Security or retirement age. We also offer an employee assistance program, had this for a number of years. The vendor here is McLaughlin Young. They offer confidential resources and referrals. Again, no cost to you. They cover a variety of things. You can contact either by phone or via web, but it's 100% confidential. So now let's talk about our wellness plan for 2023. It's going to be the same plan we had in place in 2022. Our plan started October 1 and goes to September 30th of 2023. To be eligible for the wellness incentive, employees must go get a physical through the Blue Cross and Blue Shield system. If you have coverage, family coverage, you and your spouse also have to get a physical. It's not one or the other, it's both. So if either one of you don't get it done, then the employee's not going to qualify for the incentive. Remember, we talked a minute ago, physicals are covered at 100%, so there's no copay for you. There's no cost to getting that physical. Make sure you take your Blue Cross card when you go. Our plan says 1 physical per calendar year. Most of the time when doctors' offices hear Blue Cross and Blue Shield, they think it's the state health plan, and they want you to have to wait 365 days. That's not our plan. As soon as we get into the 2023 calendar year, you and your spouse are eligible for a physical. If doctors get confused by that, just have them call Blue Cross on the phone with your card, and Blue Cross will get them straightened out. Why do we have to get a physical? Well, remember, an important part of staying healthy is getting a physical. If the doctors can detect things early, that keeps costs low, that keeps you healthy, that keeps our plan costs low, which keeps premiums low. Speaking of wellness, our Rally Health Wellness website will also be in place in 2023. Rally Health collaborates with a lot of different health plans across the country. Blue Cross and Blue Shield is one of those. So each person that enrolls and goes on Rally's site gets a personalized content experience. Rally helps build healthy habits, and at the same time, you get rewarded for it. You can see some examples of things on the screen that you can do to earn rewards, and there's also a web link at the bottom. Rally works with most all the wearable devices that are out there on the market. You choose activities that are most meaningful to you, but Rally goes in even further. It provides programs for chronic conditions and helps you maximize those on the health plan. It includes rewards for completing things like doing a survey, completing a challenge, getting involved in a mission, getting your physical, and even more. We just talked about getting a physical. You get the physical at zero cost. You also get rewarded for it in the Rally website. You can see there's even more benefits here on this page, but notice at the bottom, 31 employees this year alone have received rewards because they participated, cash rewards because they participated in the Rally program. A new benefit for 2023 is TRIA Health, and it's free to you. Healthcare is confusing enough on its own. If you add in prescription medication, it gets even more confusing. TRIA Health is all about the prescription side of the health plan. It's a free and confidential benefit to help you manage your health and medications. It's especially helpful with conditions like you see on the screen, and you get rewarded for doing it. There's a $100 reward simply for participating. There are free resources. If you're diabetic, you can get a glucose monitor and testing supplies for free. If you have high blood pressure, there's a free blood pressure monitor that they'll send to you. Why should I participate? In the old days, and unfortunately I'm up in years, in the old days you could go to a pharmacy and talk to a pharmacist. It's not so easy anymore with the CVS, the Walmarts, the Walgreens, the big box stores. They're too busy. TRIA becomes the pharmacist that you can talk to. They can help make sure that your medications work as the doctor intended. They can help you save money. In a lot of cases, TRIA can identify switches for high-cost medications to more cost-friendly, generic type prescriptions. TRIA can identify duplicate or unnecessary therapies because you may be seeing multiple doctors. They can answer questions about your medications. If your medication's not working or there are side effects, a lot of times we try to call the doctor. The doctor's not there. They'll take a message. The doctor will call you back. Well, the doctor doesn't call you back. So you call back a second time. Well, it's a nurse this time. She'll get the message to the doctor. The doctor doesn't call back. While all this is going on, you're not taking your medication because you're not sure what to do. That's not a good scenario. TRIO is available, and they work with your doctor on the right medication for you. They work on the medications that minimize the side effects, minimize the adverse drug interactions. So when you're in the bSwift portal, TRIO relies on the cell phone number, so make sure that cell phone number is correct. And remember, if a provider is calling you, they're not calling you to tell you no, they're not going to pay for something. A provider's not calling you to say no, they're going to deny a claim. For us, a provider is calling you to try to help you get the benefit out of your plan. If TRIA is contacting you, they're trying to help you with your medications. Make sure you get in touch with them or make sure you answer the call if they're calling you. You can contact them using the phone number on the screen or the website that you see on the screen. Now, we've talked a lot of times, several times in the last few minutes about rewards. We wanted you to see this on the screen. This is kind of a compilation. We thought it'd be helpful for you to see all the ways that you can be rewarded just for participating in some of our benefit plans. If you get a physical, you get a discounted premium. At the same time, if you have one of those ancillary products, you can file a claim on one of those ancillary products and they'll send you a cash benefit. If you sign up for Rally just for participating, you'll get a cash benefit. If you participate in Rally and do some of those missions and challenges and do some of those steps and some of those things, you get extra rewards and extra points. If you participate with Telehealth, they're going to turn around and send you a cash benefit. So a lot of times it's all about just getting you involved, and there's cash rewards just for for participating. Last thing we want to talk about is our One Watson app. Remember, that's our primary means of communication. If you don't have the Watson app, contact Cameron Sargent. She's in our social media group. She can help you download the app. It's our primary source of communication because we cover 3 different states. So make sure you have push notifications turned on so you see all of our posts. We're posting often, and we're posting a lot of different things now. As we mentioned, the benefit guide will be available in the app as soon as we complete tonight's presentation. We're also recording this event as well. The recording will be available throughout open enrollment as well as all through 2023 so that new enrollees can see it as well. Last slide, these are the carrier contact information. This again will be in the benefit guide for you to contact carriers and or email them. That information is available as well. Now, we said when we started that we would take questions as we go. So we're going to come over and see if there's any questions that we got during the presentation. One of the questions is, why do I have to get a physical? Well, you don't have to get a physical. It's voluntary. Again, getting the physical makes you eligible for the discounted premium for the next calendar year. You can file a claim on the voluntary plans if you're enrolled in those, and it gets you those cash rewards. If you have coverage, family coverage, your spouse needs to get that physical too. But you don't have to, but that's kind of what we want. We're leaning towards, that we're emphasizing and we're trying to get across, is the physical is the idea of keeping you healthy, identifying things early so that things cost less. That keeps the cost of the plan down. Another question was, what if I got my physical and I see the higher rates in B-Swift? Again, remember, we're still compiling information. If you got your physical late, we haven't seen it yet. We'll get those files from Blue Cross each month about the middle of the month, and we're updating all of our information so that by the time we get to January, the premiums are right. Another question, why do I have to put my email and phone number in B-Swift? Again, a lot of the carriers are doing everything they can to be technologically efficient. So they're trying to communicate with you via email, or they're trying to communicate via the cell phone or text messaging. We do the same thing. We reach out to you either through the app, through the cell phone, through the email. So we're all trying to use technology. So make sure all that information is available on the screen. If I have grandchildren living with me, can I put them on my benefits? The nice thing about our benefit plan is it's a cafeteria plan. That means you can pick and choose which benefits you want to participate in. So if you have grandchildren living with you, as long as they're legal dependents, then you can enroll them in the different benefits you might want to enroll them in. Maybe you want to put them in dental, not in vision. Maybe you want to put them in vision and not in the medical. You can do that. But remember, the health plans cover legal benefits. So one of the things you might have to upload in B-Swift is a document that shows you have legal custody. We talked about how much spouse coverage can I elect. So remember, spouse life insurance is determined by how much voluntary life insurance you, the employee, have. So if you, the employee, have $50,000 of voluntary life, the maximum amount of spouse life coverage you can elect is $25,000. Does life insurance cover minors? We talked about that a minute ago. They will not pay benefits to minors. So make sure you talk to a professional about either a will or a trust that'll make that happen for you. If you left the health plan last year and you re-enroll this year, is it under the participating rate? Yes, new people on the plan during the year get the participating rate because you weren't here when we announced the plan a year ago. So we give you the benefit of the doubt that when you first get on the plan, you're automatically going to see the benefit rate. Now that we're in open enrollment, everybody that's on the plan right now needs to go through the physical requirements for 2023. I don't think, I'm looking, but I don't think I see any more questions. Maybe another question or two will pop up. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. So we've recorded tonight's event. We'll post that in the app so you can go back and see it if you want at any time. Remember, open enrollment starts tomorrow and it closes on October 30th. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't want the site crashing on you, because at midnight, open enrollment is over no matter what, and it'll close. Everyone needs to go through open enrollment because there are plans that have to have an annual election, or you may want to waive some benefits. Also remember to check dependent information, social security numbers, spelling, dates of birth, etc. Check your beneficiary for life insurance. Again, remember, I always volunteer, so I'll be glad to be your beneficiary. If you have any questions at all, or you have any problems during the open enrollment, getting in through the open enrollment process, contact us in HR. We'll be glad to help. Contact information is in the app. All the documents are in the app. One last look. No more questions. So since there's no more questions, I want to say thank you for joining us. Hope you have a great evening. Hope you found this information beneficial. Everything you need for the open enrollment's in the app. So again, thank you for joining us. Have a good night.